All right. Hi. It's been about what, going into 3 years right now? Probably since the last time I ever uploaded a video. Truth be told, I did see a lot of views on some of my videos. I'm not gonna lie. Um, so, uh, two, probably 3 years right now. I forgot when the day that I last uploaded my video. It was more than 2 years. I know that for sure. It's been more than 2 years. I wanted to come back after about a year with all these with all that's been going on. I have seen um a lot of things. I have been through a good amount of stuff. My car, which I had actually ended up losing, uh, gave me some solace. It was a vehicle that I actually got help owning from a very, very toxic female of 7 years. I'm not so sure if I actually mentioned that or not, but I was actually emotionally and mentally and to some extent physically abused by this woman um, for 7 years. Entire 7 years. Low self-esteem actually ended up was the reason why I stayed with her. Until it all boiled down at like uh, 11 years ago around Thanksgiving. At the time of the at the time of the upload of this video, somewhere it was, yeah, it was Thanksgiving about, I want to say 10 to 11 years ago. Saw her on the news once. She came by and visited my restaurant once. Thankfully, she didn't even recognize me. Although it would have ended up very, very badly because of the way that her husband has been pretty much manipulated. He is an idiot and still continued to be an idiot, but I still remained my usual self. But after the loss of my vehicle about last year, I got a new one. And well, let's just say that it's a 10 times better than what her husband owns right now. Uh, I got a Ford F-150, very very good high quality truck. They, on the other hand, have got a Kia, not a very good car. Yeah, it was a small little Kia. It's for what I heard, they're not very good quality cars either. I'm boasting, I'm gloating. Yeah, I'm sure I am. Uh, but anywho, I'm still working at the restaurant. Nothing really has changed. Um, but um, I'm still alive and still kicking. Am I as unhappy as I was before? Eh, I'm in a little bit of a neutral spot right now. Um, and I have been actually listening to a lot of the stuff that's been going on behind closed doors. Um, I have heard about the travesties of some of the individuals who claim to be part of the trans community over the past couple of years. Mainly three individuals in particular. Would that be Dylan Mulvaney and what was it? Chris Avon, Ava Chris, and the third one would be what's his name? Jeffrey Marsh. Yeah, I heard that they were being very embarrassing, to say the least, from on the basis of the trans community. Um, and from what I gather, they're all pretty much an embarrassment. Yeah, we're gonna start off my hiatus with a banger because I am going to let's just say that these people really are just the epitome of losers and defacing and devaluing people who are part of the trans community. Um, Now there are some people that I do respect and I do still hold them to pretty much a higher standard to where not really a lot of people actually even know they exist. Um, and to some extent, there are some YouTubers out there that are just complete and utter, uh, let's just call them dog shit because of the way that the people in the trans community, or people outside the trans community, actually view them as seen by these three individuals that are of very questionable character. Um, and I'm pretty sure that there are people out there who are saying, well, let's actually get the opinion of this person after 2 years, almost 3 years now. So, first things first, we're gonna not beat around the bush. First things first, the most degenerate and most inconceivable and disgusting human being, Jeffrey Marsh. Um, Teaching kids about transgenderism really isn't all that it's cracked up to be. Yes, I do admit that transgenderism needs to be educated to children because it is a thing. But there is a right way and there is a wrong way to do this. And for the vast majority of the entire 2 years that I've been off the platform, um, let's just say the vast majority of the time it has been grotesquely incorrect. Uh, okay. Mr. Marsh, I have no idea what your intentions are. Um, I do not care if you want to actually talk to me. I do not intend to actually have any kind of conversation with you. Um, in my eyes, you have no right to be part of any community whatsoever. And for the most part, you have no right to speak to me at all. Period. You have lost the ability, you have lost the privilege of even speaking to me whatsoever. So, even if you do make a rebuttal video, it's not even going to be heard by me. I'm not even going to pay attention to you. You are a joke. You don't represent the trans community. You don't represent the LGBT community as a whole. Period. End of story. Whatever, you know, words of kindness, words of encouragement that you ever have is going to be completely ignored by me. You are under the radar. You are the worst human being in the entire world, and I don't give a fuck about you. That's it. Dylan Mulvaney, you are an individual that I was hoping you would actually see some light at the end of the tunnel. you are a lost human individual that, while you try your hardest to become popular amongst your audience, you seem to be a person that fails to see who they really truly are on the inside. Now, I do understand that you have the inability to foresee the individual that is within you. I think for the most part, Mr. Mulvaney, that you are a misguided individual. Do you have any semblance of becoming a normal human being? Yes. Yes, I do. But I think you are an individual that is going to take some time to realize who you really are. Because from my standpoint, is all this is nothing more than a popularity contest with you. In my eyes, you need to be you, Mr. Mulvaney. And I'm not talking about the whole trans thing. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. You need to discover who you are. I know it's a very, very difficult process, and it doesn't take a magic pill. It takes a insanely grotesque amount of time for anybody to discover themselves. So if you think that for once that spending the entire good amount of time, maybe about a few years, between 2 to 4 years, is enough to decipher your inner monologue, it's not. You seem to be going down a road which confuses a lot of people, and I'm gonna touch up on that one in a little bit. But I do hope in the future that once you discover who you are as the child that was brought down to Earth before whatever the hell happened to you mentally, decided to make you into an individual that cannot really stand as to what kind of individual they would pursue being in their current life. I think if you do look back in your memories, you look back on all the good times of the individual that you were as a child, I do think that you have the clearest road ahead of you in order to become the individual that you want to be, regardless of your gender. I do think you are prioritizing the whole transgender thing a little bit too hard, and I want you to forego all of that because that is what's holding you back as viewing yourself as an individual. And you must do that in order to not have any regrets in your life when you are at your deathbed. So, do I think you're a terrible human being? From what I understand? No, but it seems as of late, I don't know if it's able for you to, if it is possibly if it's possible for you to return to a normal mental state, or for you to even acknowledge the child that was brought to this earth before whatever muddles you were convincing yourself, or whatever trauma that you actually received. So, same thing with Marsh. This is a message to you. This is the way things are going to be. And we'll just end it right there. Enough said. With regards to Miss Ava, Chris Ava, the fact that you have taken your fetishism to this level of extreme by changing your physical appearance in order to partake in very risque behavior is the most insane thing I have ever seen in my entire freaking life. And for you to even think that you, as a trans woman now, think that you're more entitled to do a whole host of different fantasies with not only people of the opposite gender, but also children as well. I do think that you are an individual that has completely lost sight of what it means to be a part of the trans community, and is one of the reasons why the trans community is seen as a clown show. That's all there is need to be said about this. I don't think Mr. Beast has too much of a clue as to what's going on. Does he have an idea as to what's going on? I'll let other experts decide upon that. But the fact that you exist and you changed your body for a level of fetishism is just unbeknownst to me. I cannot tell you how disappointed I am that you are a part of the trans community. I've even heard of some people who are close to you think that, well, you might not be such a very good individual whatsoever. You are a joke, you are a clown, and I would appreciate that if you would actually end up giving an apology to not only Mr. Beast, but to the entirety of the trans community for seemingly making them look like a bunch of overly sexualized ladies of the night. We'll just leave it at that. Because frankly, honestly, with all these three individuals, it has seemed to give the label of the trans community as individuals who like to prey on other individuals. And it's pretty much a damn shame that people who have fully transitioned into the opposite gender are speaking out about it. And on top of that, it seems like there's not really many people in other facets of the trans community, whether you be somebody like Finster, somebody like what's her name? Blair White, uh, and other individuals like them, um, their voices really aren't either being amplified or very numerical. Yes, I do see, a bunch of people commenting, oh, okay, you know, their viewpoints, they go on Twitter and stuff like that, but I don't see any individuals standing up against people who are essentially degrading their own kind. It's completely weird, in my humble opinion. Especially ever since, yes, I do know about the two shootings that happened with two individuals that took innocent lives because pronouns, I guess. I really don't know. I really don't understand that. And as a person who is part of this community, well, I'm just glad to say that thank you to the police department for taking the life of this individual or these particular individuals that, for whatever psychotic reason, um, to prove a point that, oh, the trans community is being abused. Listen, I'm gonna say this absolutely one time. Do I think that transphobia does exist? Yes. Yes, it does. But I also do acknowledge that this transphobia is amplified by the mere fact that these clowns are the reason why people now fear the trans community. Whether you be a person who is trans based on the clothing that they wear, or you got the full set of Bobo Bus and had your digits removed, or your singular appendage removed. Um, but for the most part, I don't think I don't know where this is going to end up going. The elections are coming up, and from where I stand, both presidential candidates are a complete and utter joke. Um, Including Kamala Harris. People like to bring up, you know, past instances of Kamala Harris. Um, People are saying, I'm probably going to end up saying, oh, you're a Trump supporter. Yeah, no, after everything that I know about that man, yeah, I'm good. Um, so with that being said, I don't think the community, the trans community, as of right now, is going to be in any good light, regardless of what president is going to take office. There is so much damage that has been done over the past 5 years that any chance of redemption is either going to be very difficult or is non-existent. So I'm just left at a limbo. There are people in the trans community, whether people who are through clothing identifying as a part of the trans community. And mind you, it does not include certain crazy individuals. Okay, let's just keep it a buck here, people. We know that there's crazy individuals who are trying to infiltrate the trans community, albeit whether it be for sports, whether it be for fetishism, whether it be for ego, but for the most part, there is no level of self respect that I see in the trans community. And if there is any level of integrity and self respect in the trans community, a lot of people are hiding from that. And that is not something that I want to see. I don't want the clowns from 2019 to be the definition of what it means to be a trans community. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, it was that March on Capitol in the end of 2019 where people were complaining about, oh, we shouldn't have we don't have rights in jobs. Oh, we need bathroom rights. No. No. That is completely and utterly just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Opening up the doors to predators? No. See, in my eyes, the trans community needs to weed out certain individuals out of the community. And we need to make sure that, and I'm not talking about people like Blair White, but like Jeffree Star. No, 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 no. There are people out there in other facets of the trans community, especially like people like myself, that really need to stand up to these individuals. And we're getting to that point where that there are people who are going to make laws to get rid of the trans community. And that's a little bit disheartening. I'm going to say that that's a little bit disheartening. That 80 years of hard work are being flushed down the drain. So, this is going to be my return video. Now, from this point on, as much as I want to continue on this series of trans people around the world, I think it's safe to say that an individual such as myself, who needs to come out and say things that a lot of people are not even going to acknowledge, or think that I myself am transphobic about my community, well, just doesn't even get it. I am me before anything else. That's it. I do not let my pronouns define me. I don't let my external visual effects define who I am. And I don't think anybody should let that even influence their decision making. What you gotta understand is You are you. And like I said about Dylan Mulvaney, look for that inner child within you. And if you want to continue on being part of the trans community, then so be it. But you gotta understand one thing. Be you first before anything else. I will respect you more if you be you first. If it turns out you are a complete wasteful degenerate, I don't want to have anything to do with you. That being said, welcome me back. Requescate bache. And as far as future content is concerned, well, I have some very interesting insights in the future. And I will hope to see you in the future. No hiatus this time. We're not going to take over. We're not going to take over 2 years for us to come by. No. I'll probably post like a monthly video. I'll probably post like a weekly video. But as far as I'm concerned with like content for the future, I think we're just gonna do some, maybe a little bit of slice of life content. And we are gonna be doing some reacts. Some reacts. Depends on not how spicy, but just depends on if it's respectable and if it's maybe thought-provoking. But we shall see. Again, good night, requiescate pace, and I'll see you later.